Hello, and welcome back to the Kyle Davis Show. So, today I want to talk to you about something that has been really getting on my nerves. And it's this idea of identity politics. So, what is identity politics, you ask? Well, good question. So, trying to read and drive at the same time. Let's see if I can't figure out how to do this. So Merriam-Webster dictionary says that identity politics. Actually, I don't want to crash. I'm going to pause real quick. So identity politics. So identity politics took a modern form during the second half of the last century. It emerged as an emancipatory mode of political action and thinking based on the shared experience of injustice by particular groups, notably blacks, women, gays, Latinos, and American Indians. So these are politics in which groups of people having a particular racial, religious, ethnic, social, or cultural identity tend to promote their own specific interests or concerns without regard to interests or concerns of any larger political group. Keyword here being concerns without regard to the interests or concerns of any other political group. Okay, so let's get back to tracking here. So what is this getting at? Identity politics is saying that I am a man, I am either black or white or homosexual or something of that nature. But have this identity, right? So the identity would be, for an example, a white man who's gay and is atheist, or you could have a black straight woman who agrees with LGBTQ issue, who is also poor, or you could call it on a lower socioeconomic status. So the identities here are black, poor socioeconomic status, and agrees with LGBTQ community issues. So this woman, it's also woman, by the way, yeah, I think I said that. So this person is identifying as woman. So what that is getting, what she's trying to get at is that men oppress women, that potentially we live in a patriotic country in which men actively are trying to reduce the roles that women play. That women are inferior to men. Okay, so that's one identity that this woman is embracing as she identifies as woman. Black meaning blacks are underrepresented. They are the minority. They are powerless against whites, and that they are, I don't know. So that's the whole idea. Is that by taking on this identity, you are taking on the role. I'm just gonna go ahead and say it, the role of the victim. This identity politics is to allow people to scream victim. This is enabling people to say, I don't have the same opportunities as you, so therefore I'm oppressed, which is not oppression in of itself. So here's going to be a good opportunity for me to define oppression. Okay. You cannot have oppression without discrimination. Okay. So typically prejudice happens before discrimination. Prejudice is the act or is thinking of something negative, thinking negatively about someone. So it could be something simple as that person smells bad. I hate this person. I don't want to talk to this person, but you do it anyway. Prejudice implies that prejudice implies that you are thinking negative thoughts, but it also implies that you are not doing anything about it. Okay, that happens all the time in society. There are several people who would probably love to kill Trump, but they don't because for whatever reason that's keeping them, they are not. There are lots of people who hate each other, but they don't do anything about it because they know it's not going to end up well. So there's that. Discrimination is, I hate you, therefore I'm going to do something to you. So it could be something stupid as just trying to get back at someone, trying to get revenge. Revenge is a great example of discrimination. Now, here's the deal. Discrimination can be targeted at a single person. So there's a group of people, okay, I have 8 or 9 people in this group, but I don't like one person in that group. So I'm going to make them suffer. I'm going to do everything I can to hinder their progress. I'm going to do everything I can to make sure that person doesn't succeed. That would be discrimination. And discrimination typically isn't necessarily, discrimination usually isn't for a result of an action. I mean, it could, but discrimination is typically, actually by definition, is the hatred of someone based on something that they have chosen to identify as. So discrimination then therefore could be, I have this group of 8 or 9 people and I hate this one person because they're black. I hate this person because they are homosexual. I hate this person because they're a woman. That is discrimination. I hope that's clear. So, oppression then is continuous, unrelenting discrimination. So if I have a group of 8 people, and let's say I have a group of 8 people and 4 of them are women, okay? And say one class, the 4 men, I reward and I say very positive things about, and I'm very happy with them. And then the woman, I say you're terrible, nothing you do is good, typical verbal abuse, that kind of thing. That could be considered discrimination. Okay, oppression then would be over a long period of time. So say this is a 10-week group thing that meets. So oppression then would be discrimination of those women over the 10 weeks, continuous, unrelenting. So that is oppression, having long-term discrimination. Okay, so back to identity politics. these groups, so these women, let's go back to that example, these four women could claim identity politics. They could say, you hate us because we're women. The identity is we are women. And the political side is to take action, to do something about it. That is identity politics. To claim an identity, to do something political about it. And it's a very, I want to say almost a very powerful tool, because it also claims political correctness. And if you are not politically correct in this country, you can be thrown around like a rag doll. It doesn't matter if you say makes sense. It doesn't matter if your argument is logical and correct. And it also doesn't matter if the other person is wrong. If you are politically incorrect, nothing else you say or do will matter. Getting kind of heated here. Okay. Alright. Almost to my destination. So that's what identity politics is. And I hope to, we're almost out of time on this video, but I hope to do a couple more videos on identity politics, the hits, the downfalls, and talk about why it's not always a bad, identity politics is not always a bad thing. There are good things about it too. But the left has taken this idea of identity politics to the extreme, and they want to, they're basically taking the idea and run with it, like they've done with everything else. You can't be a man, you can't be a white upper class man without being hated on by the left, because you have all this money and power and authority, when really you've just earned your money. Especially in the cases of working from the ground up. And identity politics could also scream at a rich black man because he has money. And liberals like to scream oppression via socioeconomic class, when you cannot be oppressed because you're poor. You're just screaming you don't have as much money as other people. That's all you're doing, and it's pathetic. Stop it. Stop it now. Because I am not going to put up with it. I am not going to tolerate it. It's one of the worst arguments I've ever heard. It's stupid, and it needs to stop. Damn it. Get out of here. And I missed this. Alright, well, I'm going to conclude this video, and I hope to see you next time. Bye.